So what does the Santa Claus Rally, the January effect, and the Super Bowl have in common? Hi, I'm Doug Ray, founder of the Wealth Guardians and the Ray Financial Group.
And I'm Brice Payne, and you've entered The Vault, the Wealth Guardians video series on all things pertaining to retirement planning. Don't forget to hit these like and subscribe buttons down below there if you want to catch future episodes of The Vault with Doug, Garrett, and myself. Doug, what are you talking about?
So I thought I'd make this this episode of The Vault kind of a lighthearted, fun type of an episode, combining some sports and a lot of other
Santa
things.
Claus,
Yeah,
Super Bowl. All right,
yeah.
all right.
You know, it's January. We're about 2/3 of the way through January, and people like to, at the first of the year, predict what the stock market's going to do for that year.
Sure. I flip a coin myself.
Yeah.
But okay.
Right. So the Santa Claus Rally, the January effect, and the Super Bowl indicator are all market predictors.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
So let's start with the Santa Claus Rally.
We all love Santa Claus. I didn't know he had a rally.
Well, if you look at the time right after Christmas,
Okay.
a week after Christmas, until the first 2 trading days of January,
All right.
if that Santa Claus Rally is positive,
Okay.
then that says the rest of the year should be positive.
Okay.
Now, interestingly, that indicator's been accurate 76% of the time.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Another interesting statistic about the Santa Claus Rally, and I have no idea why it's like this, but between 1950 and 2019, that period of time, the Santa Claus Rally averaged 1.3%. Not bad for a week.
Yeah, that's very good for a week.
But in the last 10 years, it's only averaged about 1/3 of 1%. So it's come down quite a bit.
Still, if every week was 0.3%, we'd have a pretty good year. But yeah, it's not as good as it used to be. Okay.
And this year's Santa Claus Rally,
Okay.
hate to say, we were down 1%.
Down. Okay. So it's been a while since we've been down during this time period, right?
Yeah, it has.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So that's one check against the markets for this year.
yep.
All right. What's next?
Well, the January effect.
Okay.
So the January effect says, as January goes, so goes the market.
Easy enough.
Well, you know, again, the January effect has been mostly positive over the years.
Okay.
And people wonder, well, why is that? Well, some theorize that, you know, December is a month in which we do tax loss harvesting. We sell our losers to write them off on the taxes. You wait 30 days later and you can buy them back. So that January buyback helps to lift the market in January.
That makes sense. Okay.
Also, it's the beginning of Q1. You know, portfolio managers are going to rebalance and everything for Q1. So maybe that has some kind of an impact on the positive
that certainly
market.
makes sense. Okay. So we've got those two. How's January looking so far this year?
Well, this year, right now, we're not done with January yet, so we are up quite a bit. We started at 47.44. We're around 48.50 right now.
Okay.
Since 1993, we've had about 17 winning Januaries and 13 losing Januaries.
Okay.
So last year, interestingly, we went from 38.33 to 4,077. So that's a positive January.
And what did the rest of the year do?
24% up.
Right.
See? So far, so good.
All right. All right. So in this January, we're looking up. So hopefully that's
We'll see.
for the markets.
Knock on wood.
Now, what's this Super Bowl thing of which you speak?
This is my favorite.
Okay.
I love this one. So basically what it says is this, and you got to go all the way back to Super Bowl I, which my Green Bay Packers won.
Had to plug the Packers.
Had to do that. So basically what it says is this. If an old NFL team beats an old AFL team,
Okay. Now known as the NFC, AFCs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
then that will be a positive year in the stock market.
Okay.
All right.
So NFC better than the AFC.
So, interestingly enough, for about the first 2/3 of the Super Bowl era, This was 90% accurate.
Okay.
Now, we had some irregularities go on because, the NFL and the AFL merged. Then they turned it into the National Football Conference and the American Football Conference. We had some expansions along the way. And what they had to do to keep both the NFC and the AFC equal in the number of teams, they did some expansions. But initially, early on, they moved the Pittsburgh Steelers over to the AFC.
Right, used to be an NFL team, now they're an AFC team.
And while they were an NFL team, they won 6 Super Bowls.
Right.
So we've had some interesting conflicts along the way there, but still, it's about 73% accurate.
Is that right?
Now, you would think it would be no more accurate than flipping a quarter a bunch of times and 50-50, right? But it's been that accurate. Now, Brice, who won the Super Bowl last year?
KC.
Kansas City Chiefs. They're AFC, right?
Yes, they are.
In fact, they were in the first Super Bowl, lost to my Green Bay Packers.
That's right.
What did the market do last year?
It was up quite a bit.
24%. So it's not always accurate. Brice, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Boy, I'm liking KC.
You like KC?
I'm liking KC.
I'm liking the Ravens.
Okay, so we're both saying AFC.
Yeah, and we're both saying the market's going to go down then.
Okay, well, I'm hoping for AFC. I'm hoping for Kansas City versus San Francisco, so Joe Montana can win either way.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, this has been a fun show.
It has been. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of The Vault. Again, I'll bring your attention to those like and subscribe buttons down below the screen there. Go ahead and click on either of those if you want to stay in touch with future episodes of The Vault. I want you to remember, financial plans do not create themselves. I'm Brice.
I'm Doug.
And this has been The Vault.